John out here with you for the Resident Evil Let's Play Part 4. So just around 1 in the morning here, Eastern Standard Time of July 25th, 2019. My internet is down, so I'm going to continue this commentary. This is going to be a long one, about a 25-minute video here, but I feel like it's necessary because I could split this up into 2 parts and, be a 2-parter to have 5 parts to get out of the mansion. But if I just do this here, 4 parts, you get out of the mansion, and that's it. So your sword key and armor key door, the 2 keys that we had, they're both gone. You use them right where Kenneth was in the first zombie. One is down in the basement, the sword key that you're seeing now, and then one is the armor key where you need to play the piano with the Moonlight Sonata once you get the second part of the sheet music. So we got the one part, the other one is in that same room. So I went back, as I mentioned previously, to get the last of the fuel canteen fuel for the kerosene and all of that. So there is no more in the mansion here for me to get, but it does take care of one of these zombies down here. There is an elevator down here in the basement. You're not going to be able to access it until a little bit later in the game, but again, trying to do my best on the up and up to keep everything clear. So that is what I try to aim to do, and again, I try to implore everybody to keep everything as clear as possible as far as the areas you're going to traverse. So normally I would cut commentary here, but nothing too obvious, just a standard zombie, no story cutscene to speak of. So Jill gets knocked to the ground. Pretty much it is a big room, you just loop right around, don't even really have to worry about this guy. So you know what we're going to do next. As soon as you get around this zombie, I don't really do any cutting here, but go right into that room that you just used for the armor key. You push the bookshelf, it's the same as the initial Resident Evil, the DS version, all of that. You get the musical score, except now in this version you need 2 sets, and we already got the other one. So this is going to allow you to get a pathway open where you exchange emblems, and all of that works the same. So nothing really to speak of here as far as any differences. Again, John out here with you for part 4 of the Resident Evil Let's Play. This is going to be an entire playthrough of the HD remaster of the initial Resident Evil. Let me know what you guys are thinking about it so far, if you like the game. If you're a Resident Evil fan, if there's other survival horror games that you like the initial Silent Hill, or Layers of Fear, or any of those ones. I haven't got a chance to play a lot of PC games. I'm mainly a console gamer, but I have delved into the genre from time to time, whether it be Fatal Frame or Clock Tower. I think I played some of the ones on PS2. Clock Tower 3 was a little scary. Silent Hill is kind of scary too, but I mean, especially for 1, 2, 3, not really the American versions of Silent Hill. So there you go. Moonlight Sonata opens up there, and you want to pop the emblems in and out, exchange for the other one, and you can, again, if you want to, slow down the video and read the commentary from the journals. Again, I know some people that end up doing this. I think it's probably a little boring for me to sit here and read all this stuff to you. So if you want to, again, slow it down, be able to read some of that stuff, but nothing too crazy. I'm sure you can all figure out right now the stuff that's going on a little bit in this mansion, a little uneasiness, and kind of the setup that seems to be taking place if you've gotten that far. Because I imagine all of you guys that are watching this stuff, you're pretty bright out there. It's nothing too crazy. I'm one of the ones, when I'm playing a game, I'm pretty much needed spelled out to me. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But the Resident Evil storyline, especially for the first game, is pretty bare bones and easy to get to. And it doesn't make it a bad thing, but it's pretty easy to understand. So you want to make your way to the dining hall room with the clock and complete the puzzle there. Now, what's a little bit different in this version and in the DS version as well is there's a little puzzle to go along with it. All it is just you get to actually move things a little bit. Instead of the clock to ding 3 times and automatically give you the shield key, you actually get to manipulate a short puzzle. Nothing too strenuous. And your puzzle hint is right as you see where the clock is at. It's right on the wall between the knight and the other person there jousting. The only difference within that riddle is it's kind of the opposite as far as the clock face hands. So you want to just rotate the other, from 12 to 6, and then once you do that, it opens the door. So a little bit of adjusting there, and you should have it all set. So the shield key allows you to fight that snake that Richard was talking about. Now, to be honest with you, when you actually see the snake, you'd think it's incredibly daunting. Depending on the playthrough and everything else that you're doing, the fight can be a little easier against Yawn. Yawn is the name of the snake. So don't yawn when you're trying to fight it. Bad pun there, I know. But it will put you in a world of hurt in a hurry and poison you instantaneously. If you get poisoned, and you'll see in the cutscene, go back to where the serum is in one of the save things, where it has all the stuff on the wall, where the one zombie was that needed to be burned by the broken shotgun, and you can heal yourself from poison, because right now you don't have any blue herbs. I'm not a particularly fan of snakes. I hate spiders more, but I don't know. I guess that thing will probably just chew you in one bite. So, in Jill's playthrough, if you save Richard, he can come and help you and deal some damage. Now, what you can do, I've already been bitten, so I'm poisoned here. But what you can do is continually loop around until Richard takes care of it, until the cutscene hits. But what I can do is just get a few pop shots in there with the handgun. Don't want to use too much of my bullets. So you can pretty much see that event coming there. So I got 2 shotgun shells left in that shotgun and a slew of handgun bullets, but Rich did a pretty good job of taking this Yawn out, and he's not dead. He just, withered away there. So now you have the assault shotgun as Yawn slithers away. You don't need the other shotgun anymore. If you're Chris and you save Richard, you will get the assault shotgun, but it will be much later in the game. So there is 3 of the 4 death masks right there. Or I believe 4 of 4. I might have lost count here. Either way, save yourself. Go back to the area, and it's going to make you with the cutscene here with Jill being poisoned. Go back in there, get the serum, and regroup and get your stuff together, because we're going to start leaving the mansion.
Oh, am I poisoned? I need serum.
On your way through, with all the death masks in hand, before you actually can relieve yourself from that poison, be very careful. If you've left yourself any traps, any zombies there, one bite, it's going to be game over. So with all the death masks in hand, you healed up, you have the assault shotgun in your inventory, you have a slew of shells there, you are going to be fighting your first Crimson Head. Now for me, you just follow the descriptors there of the death masks and you figure out where the holes are at and where the description is, and they will all go in there. You'll be fighting a Crimson Head, and for me, I didn't do a good job as far as getting out of the way. You can get a shot in, a couple shots in, then maybe back up and take another one. I tried to, have him attack and then back up that way, but this time in the initial spot, he didn't want to back up, so I sustained some heavy, heavy damage where I automatically needed to heal myself. So, as I mentioned before, these things are very powerful, very fast, and they will kill you in an instant. So having a very strong weapon in tow will be good. Now you have the death masks and the stone and metal object. The stone and metal object is what you need to leave the mansion for the first time, but you have to take care of this guy in the process. So this is where I should have backed away and got some of the shots in, because he kept on just slashing me. I should have backed away. I tried to load the shotgun and get it in there, but once I got hit a couple times, I already knew I was on the deathbed there, so needed to make sure to get out of the way because I'm already in red caution. That's pretty much one step away from danger. Anything strong enough to hit you can obviously kill you even at that point. So maybe an extra shotgun shell wasted, but picking up another 6 there, not too bad. And there's your stone and metal object. So I'm going to go heal up here, and then we're going to cut to, where the door was, where you can cut through the graveyard. You can do that as well. There's going to be a dog in here that you can go ahead and take out. And if you're on low health, again, be very careful of anything else around you, because that would suck to die right when you're about to get out of the mansion if you have not saved yet, like I haven't. I will make an aforemention in this video as well, as far as if you've saved before, go ahead, you're going through, don't worry about it. You're not trying to go through achievements and things the first time. Certainly me playing through this is just a normal playthrough. I'm not doing it as well, but I will make in this video an aforementioned good spot to do a first save, especially when you get a layout throughout the mansion. There's nothing wrong with probably playing the game for 35 to 40 minutes, getting a good feel of the layout, and then starting over to get a little conservation of the ammo and health items and things like that. But everybody plays differently, so no worries. Just try to have fun, especially through the first time playing through the game. No need to go through everything so incredibly seriously. So there are 2 doors here. I got a first aid spray. Good chance to get that stuff used up now and get yourself all healed up if you need to. There's 2 doors. We're just going to cut across right from the one where you just picked up the first aid spray and the battery pack, because this is a new area to the remake, but it's going to allow you to leave the mansion. Now normally you would need the square crank to lower some water in the distance to get through the courtyard and get to the next area. You are still going to be able to do this, but you have to do something short like this. Complete a short puzzle and encounter a new enemy in the game unique to this version of the remake, the HD remaster of the GameCube release. So as I'm waiting for this to slow down here, you get west, and I believe you get north, the 2 dogs showing the ass end, if you will, facing away from each other. Opens the door.
Barry?
Lester! James! Gun! Ineffective! It's it! Stay away! Forest outside mansion! Stay! Hey!
So as I alluded to and Barry just mentioned, you're going to be meeting the new enemy type in this game. And as he mentioned, keep in mind, heed the warning. Do not use bullets against it because nothing is effective. You need to run and run away. So there will be an item box when you get the square crank and everything else you need. So right now in your inventory, if you had the wind crest, you could cut right across and pick up the coal python, pick up the magnum, whatever you want to call it. We are going to do that just after this. I'm just going to walk slowly here to not alert any crows, but, you know, cutting a right, making a right down there allows you to use the wind crest and everything, but we will get right back to that in a quick second. So we are going to continue to make our way across this path. Now, if you use the PS4, you got type B, I hit the triangle button to access the map. This is a good spot to actually use it because it's a long and winding pathway to this cabin that you need to get to, and it can be kind of confusing. So if you do get lost, you can use that aforementioned button to find your way, because what you're going to want to do right now, as I mentioned, is get the square crank and put the wind crest in your inventory and a healing spot. So it's a complete winding pathway, and briefly, as you saw on the map, the little red area indicates the completely optional but incredibly powerful magnum that you can pick up. So probably in about another 5 minutes or so, this video is going to be drawing to a close. We're going to be getting out of the mansion into the courtyard, into the next area, and going up against, I believe, Plant 42 and some of the other stuff that's in there. That's what you're going to be seeing upcoming next time. So, when you pick up the square crank, the monster walks in. And as I mentioned, if you go by the typewriter there, you get a little memo of a kid and all that. The experiments were done on this monster, Lisa Trevor, the daughter. She cannot be killed by bullets or anything. Basically, what you want to do is run right around her. And if you're Jill, 2 hits automatically put you in danger. If you didn't heal right there, I'd already be dead, and I haven't saved. So I did an awful job just getting around. I took 3 hits there. So thankfully, I had a healing item with me. But basically, you just maybe let her walk up the path and then run around. I didn't do a good job there. I tried to bull rush through, and I paid a heavy price. Thankfully, I had a healing item. So make your way back with the square crank and the wind crest in tow. I'm not going to be too much cutting here because we're going to go down the pathway. Another zombie or something should appear now that you've gone through the event. Just loop around the tree. No need to fight or do anything else like that. You're not going to be coming back here for a little while. So no surprise, we're going to cut right back to the right with the wind crest. We're going to solve a incredibly easy puzzle. All you do is put the wind crest in. It gives you 3 other crests. Instead of using those crests to leave the mansion, as we mentioned, you use these crests now to gather an extremely powerful magnum. Now if you run like I did, I was a little impatient, you will alert some crows, so you may have a chance to get pecked. It's going to do incredibly minor damage, even if you're Jill, so it's not really anything to worry about. It's just very, very annoying. So with your 3 crests in tow, nothing too crazy here. You just go to the back of each one of these items. It gets a protrusion, and then you put it in the other side, and then you get the magnum. These are completely new areas unique to the Resident Evil remake. I thought they were pretty well done. I like the sound effects of the dogs and things in the background and the fog effects. Everything was pretty cool. I liked this part. And it's neat that, as I got pecked by the crow there, it was neat to be able to see some of the same items that you would use in the initial release of the game and have them be used in new, unique ways. It's something that is a very good assessment of the Resident Evil remake, I should say. That's something that's completely what you remember. It's unique but different. And I think that's a good way to put the Resident Evil remake. And it's one of those things, as I mentioned, it's faithful to the source material, and that's what I loved about it. But when you come about the Resident Evil 2 remake that just released this year, I believe in January, which is around the same time that Resident Evil 2 released in its initial release in 1998. That was one of those ones that they did the over-the-shoulder more like the RE4, but they kept it the survival horror of RE2. And that was something completely unique and different. But they kept some of the same instances, and I loved that too. It's a great way between the Resident Evil 1 remake and the Resident Evil 2 remake to see how things were changed and how they used the source material. And both times, I think Capcom hit a home run.
If you can hear me, just give me a sign. Anything.
Jill to Brad, can you hear me? Shit, it's broken.
So if you have the shotgun in hand or anything else, there's going to be a lot of dogs, there's going to be some herbs and other things like that. Save the Magnum for very, very end of the game. Don't ever use it on anything else like this. You can stick with the shotgun and the handgun and get a lot of stuff done. And with the shotgun, that's nice. If you get enemies that are lined up, they can all take subsequent damage for it off of one shot. I think I actually missed one of those with the shotgun. That's pretty sad. But at least it took out a couple other of the dogs in one shot. So it allowed me to just get some of the other items there. We're going to be coming to a close on this part 4 of the Resident Evil Let's Play in its entirety. I'm your host, John Ott. I hope you're enjoying this so far. We are finally getting out of the mansion, getting into the courtyard, and going up against Plant 42 and Neptune, the sharks, and stuff like that. You'll see that. And if you're your first time going through all this, I hope you're enjoying this so far. And I hope the game's not proving too difficult for you. The FMV was also in the initial game as well. It was pretty similar to this. It's kind of cool to see that they were pretty faithful to all this too. So what this is going to allow you to do, just drains the water, puts it into another aspect. So there are going to be some other areas that you might have noticed already with batteries that are missing, other stuff being blocked by rain. We will be back here outside again at some point later in the game. But right now, we are just making our way out of the mansion for the first time. So on this spot, not too many things to worry about. It's just those dogs. But as you go down this elevator shaft, there will be very small snakes, and if you get bitten by them, you will have a chance to maybe possibly be poisoned. So just be careful. Don't forget, if you press the circle button on the PS4, B on the Xbox 360, Xbox One on the Type B control scheme, you can check your status to make sure that you're not poisoned, because if you are, you slowly lose health that way and you could end up dying. So pretty much right now I'm just going through this door and I am making my way. Once I go through the door, there's going to be some blue herbs and things on the side. I'm immediately going to go into the save room, and that's when the video basically is going to come to a close. And then when we come into part 5, we're going to start navigating in here through the courtyard. And this is going to be pretty much straightforward as we're going through. There's not going to be too much backtracking or loops and things like that. It's significantly shorter than the mansion itself, so we'll be able to speed this up. So I'm going to do some inventory management, get healed up, and I will meet you right back here for start of part 5. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.